Wait, that's it. That way you know. Okay, I know I'm outside and it's kind of loud, but I need to do a Shelton Speaks here because it's been too long. And I'm headed to see Dead & Company tonight, thanks to my friend Dave Laboon. And I'm very excited about this, and I'm also very emotional about it. And I'm very silly about it. I'm gonna look ridiculous. Fancy Dan Tuckett is gonna be out in full force. You need to follow at Fancy Dan Tuckett if you're not already. He will make you laugh, I think. So, why would Dead & Company make me emotional? Well, there's a few reasons. There's so much wrapped up. Let's first talk about the John Mayer thing because it has to be talked about. Somehow, this fusion, this amalgamation of Dead & Company with original leader Bob Weir, and they still got Mickey and Bill back there on the drums as well, but leader, frontman Bob Weir, the fusion of that with John Mayer has taken two things that were not cool just 5 years ago and less. And I mean cool in quotes, as in cool with the intelligentsia, the hipsters, all those people. You've taken two things that were not cool and made them both cool. Now, it's still not okay for hipsters to like John Mayer, I know that. But it is okay for them to like Grateful Dead and for them to pretend that they liked them all along, which is super fascinating. I say this with some judgment, not a whole lot, there's some for sure, but it's mostly just I'm fascinated because I'm an anthropologist. So, John Mayer, yes, that John Mayer, the Your Body is a Wonderland John Mayer, joins this band, starts wearing terrible shorts and headbands, and makes it cool to like the Dead for people who didn't like the Dead. Now, for the record, for real Deadheads, it was always cool. I don't qualify as a Deadhead quite because that's like that's a lifestyle thing, and I'm not all the way there, and I don't claim that. But I'm a real fan. So, first off, there's that. The combination of that with the Paul Reed Smith deal of John Mayer, this is guitar talk for a second, sorry. John Mayer leaving Fender Guitars with that whole hubbub, making the biggest single stink of all time regarding an artist and a guitar endorsement. Without a doubt, nothing comes close to the Silver Sky stink that now just seems like not even a big deal, right? He leaves them, the Paul Reed Smith deal is happening as the Dead thing is happening. It's really crazy what all's coming together culturally here. So it's just fascinating. It's amazing to watch. Also, you bring John Mayer into the Dead, what happens? All these younger people, especially younger women, are suddenly like, who's Grateful Dead? All these festy girls who, of course, a lot of them already were there, but you're gonna bring in the sort of wannabe festy girls, the more sorority, John Mayer fan base is gonna be like, oh, this music is fun, cool, and awesome as well. Fun, cool, awesome. I think that's how they talk, those youngins. So it's all super fascinating, and you get women there, so then men are interested, right? It's the club. So there's all these young men who are, not that, again, they didn't have their new fans cropping up every generation, which is the unique magic of the Grateful Dead. Anyway, but it's all this whole other level because of John Mayer. Fascinating. Musically, John Mayer is there, and I can't imagine anybody having a sound argument against this. I'd love to hear it if you do, but no lead guitar player who came in for the Dead, not Warren Haynes in his short stint, certainly not Jimmy Herring, all respect to him, but he knew he was just filling a role. Like, he's not the guy to be that guy. He's too heady, too choppy. He's not the right dude for that. Nobody has come close to coming in and fitting and melding like John Mayer has. I could be mistaken, but Jimmy Herring, no other guitar player was allowed to play Wolf on stage. So that's incredible. It's a big deal. Let's talk about the Grateful Dead and marketing. Everybody knows that I'm into Gary Vee now. I'm like one of those guys. That's why I'm doing this right now. Thank you, Gary Vee. So, Grateful Dead and marketing, they were doing what Gary Vee says to do all along, which is they were doing the crazy thing of giving away concerts. They were telling fans, not only may you record our concerts and by whatever means, we're going to record them from the boards, and we're going to let you fans distribute it like crazy. We're going to give away our music. We're going to fuck the record industry and give away our music. So they gave away the best thing, the core thing, the thing that should be free if you're going to go with that ethos, which I do. You're going to give that away, and in so doing, create this massive, amazing brand, which when you take brand far enough, it's basically a cult. And you're going to create such love, real love for what you're doing, that people will throw money at you to make to buy patches, to buy stickers, to buy tapestries, to buy whatever it is, to buy tickets to get to the show, to get to the real thing, so you can say I was there, I was a real fan. I think that's incredible, and so they were so ahead of their time that now that's coming back even more. And as Gary Vee is talking about constantly these days, brand is the only thing that will survive Amazon. Amazon kills everything except for brand, because, stick with me, hang with me, when we get to a point where I run out of, ginger ale in my fridge and I say, Alexa, or whatever the Alexa equivalent is, bring me ginger ale, and ginger ale shows up at my house in an hour or less. GoPuff is already doing this, by the way, it's just not quite that integrated. When that happens, Amazon is going to do sort by price. So what incentive does anybody have, Amazon or whatever the equivalent is in 2025 or whatever, right? So what incentive does anybody have to buy anything other than the cheapest, easiest thing? The only possible incentive is because there's a brand that you love, you have feelings about them. When you put that drink down, when you leave that coffee shop, when you leave that bar, you have a feeling. When you leave that restaurant, when you take off that hoodie at the end of the day, you have a feeling. You have feelings about them that are disproportionate to the job that product actually does for you. That's the only thing that's going to survive. So the Dead, back to that, we're doing this all along. They've always been doing this. They've never not been doing this. It's amazing. They're so smart. Okay, personal. If anybody's listened this far, then I guess you give a hoot, and I super appreciate that. I really deeply appreciate that. Let me show you my eyeballs. I really appreciate that. Thank you, camera. Hello, you. My friend Cody died about 7 years ago. That just got a little heavier there, I know. I had an amazing dream about him last night, where we were hanging out and we were in some sort of public context. It felt kind of like a cafeteria or something in a college, which is appropriate because he was a school friend. I knew Cody from the time we were in the 6th grade until high school, knew him closely, and then after that we separated a lot, and as it happens sometimes, and I knew him loosely for the next 4 or 5 years, 6 years that he was living. And so I had this dream last night, and he was there, and he was real as life, and I had no thought that, Cody has passed on until, he had kind of walked away, and then I was like, wait, Cody died. And then I saw that there was this guy who was kind of next to us, next to where me and Cody had been, and I turned to him, and I realized that I'd been talking to Cody's, a version of Cody that only I could experience, so you could call that a ghost or something. And I turned to the guy, and I was like, you couldn't see the guy I was just talking to, could you? And he was kind of nice about it. He kind of smiled a little, and he was like, but he wasn't mean, and you're fucking crazy. And I was just like, okay, thanks. It's good information, So I had this powerful dream about Cody last night, and Cody and I never got to see the Dead together, but Cody was one of my original Dead fans, along with my friend Jordan. And Cody and I did go to see the Allman Brothers Band on August 9th, 2003, and it was the anniversary of Jerry's passing. It was like the 15th or maybe just the 10th. Yeah, at that point, God, it's crazy. That just would have been the 10th anniversary of Jerry's passing, which I cannot begin to fathom what a big deal that is to how many people that's a big deal to. Jerry Garcia passing is something that I can't begin to fathom. I can't fathom the depths of what that means to so many people. So we were there, and Warren had written this song for Jerry, Patchwork Quilt, about what this angel, Jerry Garcia, had meant in weaving together all these people and bringing together something so palpable and so real that was so positive to so many lives, continuing. So he is in perpetuity. The Grateful Dead are, to use Gary Vee's phrase, in perpetuity. There's no end. It's a long game. To use the Allman Brothers phrase, the road goes on forever. So this is about legacy. What I'm doing is about legacy. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I love the support that I get, and I appreciate it, and I hope that what I'm doing here grows because I believe in it, and I hope that you believe in it. And I love each and every one of you. I really do, even the ones that I don't know. Even if there's some of you I don't like, which I can't imagine there are if you're following me at this level. Probably we're pals, but I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you. Let's go see the Dead.